Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa taala, because of his grace I was able to complete this task. Don't forget salawat and greeting for our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to his family, his friend, and his followers until end of the time. Now I will discuss about one of the tools in chemical industry that transport of solid, named bucket elevator. Bucket elevator is endless chains to which are attached buckets for transporting granular materials along vertical, inclined, or horizontal paths. It can continuously transport bulk materials to a high distance with a wide range of uses: long service life, large capacity operation, customizability, small footprint, and other advantage. Function and role of bucket elevator. Bucket elevator is a conveying system of high commonality widely used in mining, metallurgy, cement, grain, chemical, electric power, and other industries. Bucket elevators are designed for handling bulk materials and specialize in lifting large amounts of those materials up into the air and through the system. You might require them for lifting massive and heavy quantities of iron ore or simple, dry materials like sand. There are many different types of materials that these buckets are capable of handling across a wide variety of industries. Next, type of bucket elevators. First, we look according to elevator design. There are two types of bucket elevators. Belt type bucket elevator. With traction belt as traction components, bucket elevator continuously upward convey material through the hopper fixed on the belt, which adopt fabric or wire rope core rubber belt. Next, chain type bucket elevator. Chain bucket elevator adopts high strength chain as traction components. The chain bucket elevator is fixed on the high strength chain using gravity unloading mode for the continuous lifting of materials. Second, according to elevator process, there are three types of bucket elevators. Centrifugal bucket conveyor. Centrifugal bucket conveyors move free-flowing material using centrifugal force. Evenly spaced buckets on a chain dig into the material at the inlet and then throw the material out of the discharge throat, typically right after the top turn of the chain to maximize centrifugal force. Continuous bucket conveyor. Continuous bucket conveyors are distinct from other bucket conveyor types in that they are meant to transport fragile or light material. They move at much slower speeds, 3 until 5 feet per second, and there is no gap between buckets to prevent any spillage. Positive discharge conveyor. Positive discharge conveyors are a special kind of centrifugal conveyor, where their buckets pass over an extra sprocket which jolts the material out of the discharge end. They move at slower speeds, 2 until 4 feet per second, which prevents undue spilling and breakage of material. Bucket elevator working principle on continuous bucket. From the picture, we know that the process are A. Space bucket elevator, B. Bucket conveyor for vertical and horizontal travel, C. Discharge of pivot buckets on horizontal path, D. Space buckets receive part of their load directly and part by scooping the bottom. E. Continuous buckets are filled as they pass through the loading leg with a feed spot above the tail wheel. F. Centrifugal discharge of space buckets, unless discharge mode of continuous buckets. Next part is basic consideration for tool selection. First, we must know that capacity rate output, bucket design, and distance. How much material must be conveyed per unit time, and how far must it travel? The answers to these questions will dictate which conveyors can and cannot be used, as well as the ideal bucket shape and size. Second, product needs and protection. Determine what material you are conveying and if it requires protection from aeration, sticking, or the environment. Last, control and special considerations. There are conveyors that allow for operator and sensor input, but they are not often present in more general conveyor models, unless specified. After that, we must know the tool design principles. There are, first, selection of bucket, belts for bucket elevator, splicing, elevator belts, elevator head section, capacity calculation, bucket filling factor, and power requirements. Okay, we reached the last part, that is bucket elevator capacity calculation. First, we must calculating density. You must construct or purchase a box of known dimensions, fill and weight the box, M, and then divide the results by the volume of the box, V. The result will be density, ρ, which may need to be converted to more reasonable units, such as pounds per cubic feet or kilogram per cubic meter. After that, put the all formula together. Now that we have density, we can calculate rate per hour or capacity, C. As an example, let's assume we need to transport 1 ton of soybeans per hour. Is this achievable with a 6-inch conveyor? Our manufacturer says we can transport 180 cubic feet per hour. Our soybeans are whole and have a density of approximately 47 pounds per cubic foot. Simply multiply the density by the capacity gives us 8460 pounds per hour. This is a little over 4 tons per hour, which is more than enough for our 1 ton per hour requirement. So we can get the formula C is density times transport. For example, you could construct a bucket 30.48 centimeters long, wide, and height, with 500 kilogram weight. Manufacturer can transport 150 meter cubic per hour. Calculate the rate per hour or capacity. We can get the volume is 28,317 times 10 power of minus 6 meter cubic. and then the weight or mass is 500 kilogram. We can get the density 17.66 times 10 cubic kilogram per meter cubic. And then we calculate the rate per hour or capacity with the result 2649 times 10 cubic kilogram per hour, or 2649 ton per hour. Okay, that's the last part of my discussion material, and this is my reference to get the discussion material today. Thank you for watching my videos until end. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.